Hello and good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the JLM Center tonight, for your dedication, your love and commitment for our children and for the schools, and matter of fact, for our community. And you showed tonight that in spite of the weather, you are committed, you're dedicated, and we just want to say thank you for coming. We're glad you're here, and unfortunately, there's not enough seats for everybody, but it just shows how committed you are to make sure that your voice is heard and that you send your message and that the school remain intact. We want to thank you one and all for being here with us on this evening. Let me just ask of you, if you will, in time like these, you got coats that get a little warm, and but if there are chairs beside you, please allow somebody to sit down. They need them. Hold your coat. And then the next thing, I need you to be real civil tonight, cordial one to another as you share, respecting one another in the place, because where there is unity, we can gain some strength, but without order, we cannot get anything accomplished. You are here, and you're here, your voice will be heard. The commission is here, you are in the place. We are glad that you have the opportunity to be here, but we ask you from the outset, as you're welcome here to the JLM Center, we thank God that he gave us the opportunity to put this place here on Jackson on the side of the road to help house and make some difference like this. And I wanted to just ask you tonight, because we need to get all we can out of this meeting. Let me just open with a short word of prayer for our unity, for our cooperation, for our working together tonight. Our Father, we thank you for this gathering, for seniors, for children, for principals. We thank you for teachers, for workers who have dedicated themselves and have come out tonight to share. We ask now for your peace, your guidance, and your motivation, that we will remember the cause for which we've come. We thank you even in advance, and we claim it even now in Jesus' name. Thank all of you. Give yourselves a hand just for being here tonight. It's a great night. You're inside. The snow didn't stop you. It's a great night. It is my delight to say welcome. We have Alderman Chandler here tonight, and to any other elected official, the commission, and for all of the CPS. And it's my delight now to give to you Mr. Philip Hampton, who will give us direction from here for the field.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening again, everyone. So I'm not going to belabor the time for the meeting, because this is your meeting, and it's very important that you have an opportunity to speak. You see, we have an overwhelming crowd. So the only way, as Pastor Miller has made it clear, the only way that we can get through this meeting, we're going to have to cooperate one with another. So we beg of you in order that we can do that. So I want to lay out for you why we're here, make sure that as many as possible have the information that we provided. I want to quickly introduce the leadership that's in front of the room here, and then we're going to get started, okay? Pastor Miller, we just appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you for allowing us this opportunity to meet here. We meet here quite often, so we just appreciate you, and I just want to say that. Chicago Public Schools has a fiscal challenge. It has a fiscal challenge, and we have a school utilization challenge. CEO Barbara Bird Bennett has asked us, those of us in leadership, that we have meetings out in the community to talk about this issue and get concerns directly from you. So that's why we're here. You need to know the people that are in the room that will be listening to your comments. You need to know that you have many opportunities to provide us comments, so don't be afraid if you don't have the chance to speak from the microphone tonight. And also, you need to know that as with every other meeting that we have done, these meetings, your comments, the breakout sessions that we hope many of you will participate in, all those conversations will be compiled into a report that goes directly to our CEO, Dr. Barbara Byrd Bennett. Yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna come right to her. Mr. Pam Marzullo. Pam, would you raise your hand? She can't raise it quickly. She is the official court reporter for your comments as they will be going back to CEO Dr. Barbara Byrd Bennett. You'll notice to the left, we have some support for those who may need that support as well. And I'm going to pause because we had equipment here to provide translation services. We're having difficulties with that equipment, but we have a plan to make sure that our parents that need that support will get that support as well. And I'll be right back to you.
Buenas noches. Primero que nada, les queremos dar la bienvenida a los padres, a los estudiantes, maestros, directores que están aquí en esta noche acompañándonos. Queremos pedirles disculpas porque no tenemos audífonos y micrófono para traducción, pero sí les queremos decir que sus comentarios son muy importantes para nosotros. Y vamos a, después de que estemos aquí un rato reunidos, va a haber un tiempo en que vamos a estar en grupos abajo, escuchando su aportación, y vamos a estar hablando con ustedes y tomando nota de lo que ustedes quieren compartir con nosotros. Y si acaso ustedes no pueden tener la oportunidad de oralmente expresar lo que quieren esta noche, también van a poder de manera escrita compartir con nosotros sus comentarios. Y eso va a ser después de que tengan las personas aquí arriba oportunidad de compartir oralmente, ¿ok? Así es que bienvenidos a todos y vamos a continuar con el programa aquí unos quizás 20, 25 minutos más y luego vamos a pasar ahí abajo donde van a haber traductores y van a haber 2 salones para las personas que hablan español. Bienvenidos a todos.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. You should have, I hope you were able to get 2 copies of information that we passed out. I understand that we ran out of some of it, but you should have a fact sheet with you that says addressing utilization crisis from CPS. And then also you should have a list of all the schools within the Garfield Humboldt network. And it will have information on it, including utilization information and other information, okay? So you should have both of those. If you didn't get it, work with any CPS folks, and many are here, so we want to make sure that you get that information, even if we have to get it to you at a later date. The second thing, Pastor Miller is reminding me that we need to ask all of those who are in the center aisle, if you will please make room, make one aisle, because we're going to invite the schools, their school representatives to speak first, and then we're going to provide opportunity for everyone else, as many as possible. But we need to make one aisle so we'll be able to get the schools up and to make that comment, all right? And this is important. Please support us in that because we don't want to have an issue where we're breaking fire code and then we'll be asked, we'll have to get out of here. So please support us in that, okay? So who's up here from leadership? I'd like to first introduce the network chief for the Garfield Humboldt Network, Ms. Wanda Washington, who's here. Wanda. And her deputy, Mr. Chip Johnson, Chip as we call him. We also have Ms. Teresa Placentia, who is the Westside High School Network Chief. Teresa. And we have Mr. Randall Jocelyn, who is the deputy chief for the Westside High School. Okay. And also the chief of all the chiefs, their boss, Denise Little, is here, who's on the side. Everybody knows Denise. Denise, we're so glad to see you here. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize that we have Mr. Gates. Everybody knows who Mr. Gates is, who also served on the Commission of Utilization, who will be here and observing as well. And we're just so glad that he's here as well, okay? So here's the process for tonight. We will have Ms. Andrea Hall. Andrea Hall will be calling up each school to the center. 2 representatives, please, 2 minutes per speaker. That's the only way we're going to be able to get to every school and individuals who want to speak, all right? So we beg of your consideration, we beg of your support relative to that. We have a young lady here who's going to be reminding us right in front of me of the time that we have left. So without no further ado, Ms. Hall.
All right, good evening, everyone. We're going to start with 3 schools at a time, so we'd like people...
My faux pas. Before, the first person who will be speaking relative to public comment is elected officials. We have Alderman Chandler who's here. We want to allow him to make comment, and then after Alderman Chandler, we'll call up the schools. Thank you.
Good evening. I said good evening. Good evening. So it is great to be here tonight. I'd like to thank Reverend Miller once again for opening up the doors of this church, this auditorium for us, for the people from the community. I believe that we should be here tonight talking about how we need more resources for our schools. More computer labs, more science labs, and libraries in every school. All the parents groups that I spoke to, all the principals I spoke to, and I also even talked to the CEO of CPS. And I let her know, after I introduced myself to her, the next words out of my mouth was that we don't want none of our schools to close. So I've talked from the CEO down, and I'm here tonight to speak up for my folks in the community that we demand that none of our schools be closed.
All right, so we'll go ahead and have 3 schools line up at a time, 2 representatives per school. We'll have Beidler, Bethune, and Calhoun start. Any representatives from Beidler? And if, because there's so many people in the room, if you are here and I call your name, raise your hand so I know you're here so I don't move on to the next school. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emmett Ferrister, and I've lived in the Garfield Park area for most of my life, and I am a product of Beidler Elementary School. My wife is a volunteer at the school. I've met with Mr. Anderson, the principal of the school. I think that he's working very hard to provide a proper education for our children. Nothing that we want to achieve is given to us. It'll take hard work to achieve our goal, and our goal is to keep our school that belongs in our community open. But it'll take hard work. Hard work from parents to prepare our children to come to school and be ready to learn. Hard work from our teachers to prepare our children for higher learning, helping to shape their future. But most of all, it'll take hard work from the students to open their minds to receive what they're taught, to show those that oppose us that our school is academically able to prepare them for the future.
My question to our parents, teachers, and students tonight is, are we prepared to do hard work? We need our school and our schools in our community and must work to keep them open. Our strength comes from our unity, from our numbers. And as you can see, our numbers, we're here tonight. With few, we can do little, but with many, we can do much. So I'm appealing to each of you, not just as a bylaw or numbers, but as a concerned parent, to do all we can to keep our school open. Thank you.
Dr. Shirley Ewing, retired principal of the Jacob Bidler Elementary School. First, I would like to begin by saying this is our community. Majority of us were born and raised here. Therefore, when you close our schools, that's like closing the doors on our front porch. You say that you need to consolidate for budget reasons. We understand that. But we also understand that our children need a local place that they can go to daily and not have to worry about crossing gang lines to get to another school. McCarthy went all the way to Washington to figure out what a solution to all the violence in our city. Leave our children in our community, and then we won't have to worry about them going to another school. Bidler has been down this road before. We know the situation when you think of the threat of losing your child's school. We know it's an old model, but we ask you to go back to the children first model. Put our children first. That's why we're here. That's what we're concerned about. We already took God out of the schools. Let's not take our children out of the schools.
Next.
Okay, next we'll have Batoon come up next. Is anybody here from Batoon? Batoon. Batoon, I'm sorry. B-E-T-H-U-N-E. Did I say it? All right, if no one has raised their hand, I'm moving on to Calhoun. Is someone here from Calhoun? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Linda McClennan. I'm the proud principal of Calhoun North Elementary School. I come to you on behalf of my parents, my students, my community, my staff. I want you all to understand that as you're thinking about whom to consolidate, know what you are interrupting. We have profits in place. Our data shows that for the past 13 years, not only have we increased in data, our scores, our state report card shows that we are above both the district and the state in reading and math. So our concern is don't interrupt what we have in place for our children. We have the interactive learning in place for the 2 computer labs and the 2 science labs, and we're using those spaces with the so-called underutilized space. We're utilizing it for the learning process for our children. So please understand that to consolidate Calhoun is to take not only our children that are already in place, but our children's parents who are Calhoun graduates. We have generations of parents who come in because they know what Calhoun has to offer, and they are there to support us. Our parents, our LSC, our staff, they are the pillars for our children. And our children are here with us tonight because they are compassionate about what Calhoun has to offer. So please, remember that Calhoun has something great in place, and to interrupt that is to interrupt our children's lives.
Good evening. I come to you as the LSC chairperson for John Calhoun School. You all want to come in and take over our school. Our kids will have to travel between 2 different game turfs. Right now, as it is, our kids know the gangbangers in the school, therefore they have nothing to fear. But if you close our school, they will go from Lake Street back. That's too many gang turfs for them to cross. Our kids have fought over for the past 6 years to bring our school from an underutilized and an underprivileged school to the top school there is on the west side. You close our school, where will our kids go? What do they have to look forward to? It's too much going on out here in these streets, not only for my kid, but every other kid in this community. Calhoun is the community school for around here. You close our school, where will our kids go then? We already have a high dropout rate as it is. What are you going to do then when our kids have nowhere to go?
The next 3 schools will be Cameron, Casales, and Cather. Someone here from Cameron. Raise your hand, Cameron.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Lara Cos, madre de 2 estudiantes de la Escuela Cameron y presidenta del Concilio Escolar. Aún sorprendida de ver a mi Escuela Cameron en la lista de cierres, una escuela que ha mostrado año a año un aumento académico de nivel 3, hemos pasado a nivel 2. Y estamos trabajando duro para llegar a nivel 1. Una escuela que es abierta a la comunidad y que se enfoca en el crecimiento de los estudiantes. Para padres y miembros de la comunidad, una escuela con un programa de educación de adultos con más de 160 participantes en total. Así podríamos seguir la larga lista de los programas que tenemos. La realidad es que no entendemos cómo una escuela que está utilizada en 80% y que no tiene ningún salón u oficina vacía está en la lista de cierres por estar bajo utilizada. Nuestra escuela no necesita ser cerrada o estar en esta lista. Al contrario, necesita más salones para habilitación de una clínica en la escuela. Salones para padres, ya que algunas de las clases de adultos se hacen en oficinas, y más personal profesional que puede hacerse cargo de la salud emocional de nuestros estudiantes. Por ejemplo, otro consejero, un programa de ID en nuestra escuela para las familias y estudiantes no tengan que salir de nuestra escuela y comunidad para buscar mejores alternativas y educativas.
So good evening. My name is Laura Cost, mother of 2 students at Cameron School and president of the local school council. I'm still surprised to see my school Cameron on a list of closing schools, a school that has shown academic growth from year to year, from level 2 to level 3. And we are now at level 2 and are working hard to reach level 1. A school that is open to the community and is focused on the growth and development of the students, the parents, and members of the community. A school with an adult education program with over 160 participants. A school with and that is how we need to continue with programs in the long list of work that we have. The reality is that we do not understand is that how can a school that has 80% utilization still be on a list of underutilized schools when we don't even have one office or one classroom that is empty right now. Our school does not need to be closed or be on a list. On the contrary, it needs more rooms to use as a clinic, as a space for a clinic, room for our parents to have their programs, for more adult classes, and more professional personnel to help us with mental health in our communities, especially with our children. We need another counselor, an IB program in our school, so that families and students don't have to leave our school and community to seek out better alternatives. Okay.
El problema en nuestra escuela no es la utilización, sino la falta de recursos para implementar programas de calidad que hemos pedido por años. No tenemos miedo y queremos invitarlos a caminar en nuestra escuela junto a nosotros para que conozcan la realidad dentro de la escuela.
y las proyecciones de utilización de CPS ha fallado por años en los casos de Cameron y esta vez estamos nuevamente frente a un error de CPS. Esperamos que revisen su data y visiten nuestra escuela antes de tomar alguna decisión. No estamos para juegos políticos, somos padres, profesores y comunidad interesados en el bienestar de nuestros hijos.
So she said the last part, we're not here for political games. We're here to make that sure that the schools aren't closed and that we need to work together because we're here for the well-being of our children.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Ingrid Romero. Soy la vicepresidenta del Concilio Escolar de la Escuela Cameron, residente de West Humboldt Park. Aún no entendemos cómo estamos en la lista de cierres de escuelas cuando nuestra escuela, de acuerdo a la fórmula de CPS, está en 80 utilizada. Tiene el programa de padres comunidad con más participantes en el network. Nosotros que conocemos nuestra escuela, caminamos en sus pasillos, salones todos los días, podemos testificar que no hay salones vacíos en nuestra escuela. Por el contrario, nuestro problema es falta de salones para seguir educando y sirviendo a nuestros estudiantes y comunidad. Por ejemplo, nos falta un salón para habilitar una clínica en la escuela, nos falta salón para nuestra universidad de padres. En estos momentos tenemos padres aprendiendo inglés GD en oficina y no en salones. No tenemos nada que esconder. Ustedes pueden venir cualquier día y caminar por nuestra escuela y ver la realidad de nuestras necesidades. Si CPS está en preocupación por la educación de nuestros hijos y quiere focalizar el gasto de dinero, entonces nosotros le podemos ayudar a solucionar el problema. Lo que nosotros necesitamos es más salones para consejeros escolares, familiares, otro consejero, ya que tenemos un consejero para 840 estudiantes, otro asistente principal, por no nombrar algunos de nuestras necesidades. Es tiempo que detengamos este show, no nos enfoquemos en lo que realmente necesitamos en las escuelas públicas. Les repito, no es justo que estemos en esta lista y que jueguen con la salud mental de nuestros hijos, profesores, familias. Este show cierra de escuelas. Si quieren conocer la realidad de nuestra escuela, está abierto de lunes a sábado. Vengan y conozcan la realidad, lo que es diferente a lo que conocen desde su escritorio. Esperemos verlo pronto en Cameron.
Good night. Good night, my name is Ingrid Romero. I'm the Vice President of the LSC Council at Cameron School and resident of West Humboldt Park. We don't understand why we're still on the list of school closings when our school is actually at 80% according to the formula CPS has put out. We have the parent program and the community program with most participants in the network. We know our school, and we walk through our school and classrooms every day. We could testify that none of those classrooms are empty in our school. On the contrary, our problem is that we don't have enough classrooms, or we don't have enough offices to keep educating and serving our families and our community. For example, we need a room to put a clinic in our school. We need more rooms for our parent university. In this moment, our parents are learning English and GED in offices, not in classrooms, in offices. We don't have anything to hide. You guys can come and visit us any day and walk with us so we can show you the reality of our needs. If CPS is so worried for the education of our children and wants to focus their wasting of money, we are here to help you out and help you solve this problem. What we need is more rooms for family and student counseling. We need more counselors. We have one counselor for 840 students. We need another assistant principal, just to name some of our necessities. This is right now is the time to stop the show, and we need to focus on the reality of what our children and our families need. And I say it's not right that we're back on the list, and you guys having to play with the mental health of our communities and our children, our teachers and our families, and
stop this show of closing school. If you want to learn the reality of our school, we're open Monday through Saturday. Come join us and understand the reality. And that reality is different when you walk through it than sitting from behind a desk. We hope to see you soon at Cameron.
Thank you. Before we move on to the next school, which will be Casals, we're going to have an elected official come up, Alderman Fioretti.
Good evening. Good evening. First of all, I do want to thank the panel for being here, taking your time, your effort. But we were here 6 weeks ago, and the same recommendations, and I am preparing a very lengthy letter to the board, and I'm going to unveil it next week. But it's 6 weeks ago when we were in this room on a Saturday, and I don't know who was here then, but we were all here, and I made 3 recommendations. And those recommendations stand firm today as I've watched the 6 weeks transpire and have attended and listened to what's happened at these meetings. First of all, we should not close any schools at this time. Secondly, we should stop the expansion of charter schools until this is resolved. And third, if you go down that perilous path of closing a school, and I gave the examples, you know, this is a fight, people read my letter to the Sun-Times yesterday about why Jones should be a neighborhood school, why Crane should be a neighborhood school with real resources dedicated to the people. But we have problems. No matter where we are in the city, that gang lines control access. We know what happened when we started Operation Safe Passage in 2008 after Reuben Ivy died and was killed outside a block away from Crane. And we got the leaders together, the religious folks together, and we did it, and people did it without the pocketbooks like they're paying everybody now in all these other communities. They did it from their heart for the students, to make sure students have a good education. And I talked about last time we were here 6 weeks ago of what happened at Suter in a 10-day period, a magnet school at Washington just past Damon. In 10 days they were twice in a lockdown with shootings outside. And the students were there. Parents, when I finally met with the parents, they said, if it happens again, we're taking our kids out. We have to be careful. These kids, these young folks are the future of this city and where we go. So I asked this panel to make sure that they make the recommendation, whether it's first or second, it doesn't matter. No more charter schools till we get this resolved, and don't close any of our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Next, we will move on to schools, and we're going to have Casals come up. Cather. I understand that, I was told. Here.
Alderman Irvin, Jason Irvin is in the building, as well as Alderman Walter Burnett. We're so glad they're here. They requested not to speak, but we want to acknowledge that they're here. Thank you.
All right, so we'll go ahead and have Casals, Cather, and Delano. Delano, I am so sorry. Delano. Is someone here representative from Casals? Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Good evening. Hold it. Okay. Good evening. My name is Jordan Brown, and I am the 4-year-old class at Delano Elementary PC. Today is my 5th birthday. My favorite class is reading. I like to read princess books. I like to play with the center side. We make choices where we want to go, and we stay where we want to go. I wish I could pick the library every day. I like to play with my friends wherever center we are in. I also like math because we write our numbers and count to 100. I like it when I work with my teachers. There are days I miss Dana and Miss Newton. I'm really excited to go to kindergarten next year with my friends at Delano. Please keep Delano open so I can learn more and more with my friends. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sadasha Wiley. I attend Delano Elementary School and I'm in the 7th grade. Many students, including myself, have been attending Delano since pre-K, and we have been making a lot of progress. We have gone from a level 3 school on probation to a level 2 school, and we're now off probation. Due to hard work of our teachers and staff, our next step is level 1. Our teachers have forced our focus on us having quality education in the classroom, technology room, including projects that prepare us for the future. The reason why I believe Delano deserves to stay open is because we have teachers and a principal that believe and actually care about our learning. They are concerned about the safety and health of every student, including making sure that all students receive a quality education in a safe environment. Another reason why I believe that Delano Elementary should stay open is because not only do we have wonderful teachers, we also have wonderful students. From a personal experience, I can assure you that the students that attend Delano are very loyal, caring, understanding, bold, very athletic, and we try our best to improve our grades and scores until they're perfect. We don't just take any grades, but work for satisfaction. We keep moving forward until our grades are perfect. Delano Elementary should stay open because it offers many extracurricular activities to students who otherwise will not have access to them. We have after-school programs including basketball, pom-pom, cheerleading, volleyball, track, and football. We also have Family Focus, which offers a poetry slam in which we will be competing against middle schools, high schools, and colleges. Last year we came in 3rd place, and that was incredible considering the fact we were the only middle school there competing against high schools and colleges. There are many programs at Delano that offers support to students, including support groups for girls and boys. These programs allow us to learn about our bodies, illnesses, and diseases. They also allow us to speak and develop high self-esteem among our fellow sisters and brothers. Delano Elementary will be celebrating a very special year between 2013 and 2014. The school will be celebrating their 100th year anniversary. It will be extremely upsetting if we were unable to celebrate. It would be extremely upsetting if we were unable to celebrate this landmark along with celebrating our school becoming a level 1. Please allow our school, Delano Elementary, to stay open.
The next school up will be Dodge. We're actually going to have Cather go first, Dodge. If you could wait 1 second, Dodge. Cather, please.
Good evening. I'm Chris Kruger. I'm the 8th grade teacher at Cather Elementary School. First, I'd like to say first and foremost, I'm here to support everybody here in Garfield Humboldt Network. Our network has come a long way. We have great leadership in front of us. We know this. We thrived under Ms. Denise Little as well. But most of all, Cather has had a renaissance over the last 7, 8 years. When our current administration took over, we had, I think, a composite score of 13 on the ISAT. Our previous administration didn't really care about the ISAT, they cared about the Iowa test. Well, now our composite, I believe, is 84. And we've been from probation forever to a level 1 school. Now, many people think this is we're level 1 school, we don't have anything to worry about. But that's why I'm here, is to remind these good people in front of me that we have come a long way. And that Cather, we only have 250 kids. But think what we could do with 800. So thank you.
Representative from Dodge. Moving on to Erickson.
Good evening. I'm before you as a parent first and as an employee second. My son attends Leif Erickson Scholastic Academy. And at Leif Erickson this year, with the new principal, Mr. Abrams, they have art, music, computer, gym, and library. Now, to ensure, they're only short 270 students, according to this roster. Those 270 students was taken from us by the 108,000 that went to charter schools. If they didn't go to charter schools, they would be at our schools. To ensure that all students are able to get to and from school safely. In our community, how many blocks would the schools be from each other, and are the blocks safe, and will there be bus service? Performance, provide effective students with enrollment in higher performance schools. What if we ensure that all our schools are high performance schools? The utilization of the schools. To understand how space is used and to combine underutilized schools to provide a well-rounded, high-quality education for each student. Why not use the space, if there is some, to reduce the number of students in a class from 36 to 28? Hire more effective staff to provide well-trained education. Building quality where possible facilities are closing. Why not hire capital investment needs and poor learning conditions? Instead of selling buildings to charters for $1, why not let them bid on a property as other real estate companies have to do? Why are we talking about our schools? No mention of charters who face the same situation. They are no better than Chicago public schools. Maybe instead of us, the taxpayers, using millions of dollars given to them, we take that money and put it into our so-called underutilized schools.
Well, on behalf of Eric, there's not too much more to say after that, but I do have some things to say. In addition to the things that my parent just mentioned, we do have a program called GEMS, Girls Enjoy Math and Science, where the young ladies are learning not only to do better in math and their science skills, they're also learning to be entrepreneurs by making lotions and body oils and things like that, all natural. They're learning to be entrepreneurs, which is what we need. We also have a principal who takes, I think we're the only grammar school on the west side whose principal takes their children on college tours. That's right, college tours. We're starting our children out in pre-K thinking about college. That's right. Also, we have a principal who knows that technology is the key for our children. We have 2 computer labs plus a mobile lab. We have a parent room, which we just recently finished furnishing, that has 3 computers in it, which is not a lot. We're new to that, but our parents are coming in. They're looking for jobs. They're applying for schools. They're doing everything in the school. This is one of the reasons why our school should not be closed. This school is a family school. There are like 4 generations of students in this school. It is a family. Our school should not be closed because there will be nowhere for our students to go. We're saying underutilized. Well, one reason why it's underutilized because there are no children in the neighborhood. The buildings are gone. So if there are no buildings, how can there be children? That is why our school should not be closed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before the next group of speakers, Alderman Irvin has decided that he would like to make comment. We want to invite Alderman Irvin to come on up, please.
Thank you. Good to see all you out here this evening about our schools in this community. And I look at Garfield, and I go from Marconi all the way past Faraday. We talk about underutilization. We should be talking about being under-resourced. I want the same thing for my kids in Garfield Park that they have in Lincoln Park. We want the same stuff for the kids in Humboldt Park like Rogers Park. And the issues that we need to understand is that if you underutilize, under-resource something, what do we expect to happen? So we're in this situation that is not something that just happened overnight. This is something that has been going on, and it's on us to stand up for our community, for us to stand up for our schools, and for us to stand up for our children. When I heard this little young lady here, 4 years old, reading, speaking, this is what this is about. This is about us fighting for what we believe in. And I believe that we need more dollars to help these schools do better so that these children can do better. Because the only thing we over in is we overtax. We sending more people to the penitentiary. We sending more people everywhere but to college, getting jobs. So we need resources in our schools here in Garfield Park and Humboldt Park. And I stand on that, and I stand on that till I die, that we need resources for our kids in this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Claudia is going, because of the overwhelming crowd, and we want to make sure that we don't have a fire hazard, we want to invite our Spanish speakers, the one that need translation, downstairs, where we will have facilitators to work with them at this time. So, Claudia.
Ahora queremos invitar a las personas que necesitan traducción en español que con mucha orden y mucha calma, por favor, pasen a la planta baja. Ahí tenemos 2 facilitadores y traductores que van a estar tomando las notas y van a estar escuchando sobre sus quejas, ¿ok? Y sus comentarios. Las personas que están en línea para compartir con el grupo se pueden quedar ahí, no se tienen que ir, pero los que están en la audiencia pueden pasar por la parte de atrás y bajar en orden. Ustedes que están esperando, quédense ahí, no se tienen que ir. We will provide translation.
All right. So, as we mentioned earlier, that is an invitation only. No one is going to make anyone do anything. So we appreciate it. We're going to move on with the list of schools that we have. Thank you so much.
The next school is Faraday, then Garfield Park, and Goldblatt.
My name is Connor Rice. I'm a proud parent and an LSC chairperson at Faraday School. Closing a school is never an option or a solution. We need to come together all levels and find a common and higher ground to save our school. These children are our future. Thank you.
Next school, Garfield Park. Is there a representative from Garfield Park? Moving on to Gold Black.